This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society map on the old machine on page 87CYM. The Western Washington Amateur Television Society is a group of amateur radio enthusiasts that to the airways with mass-cam television. We're located up on Cougar Mountain. We transmit on 70 centimeters. Across band repeater that puts out images at 1.2 gigahertz. And we use Seattle Repeater Association 08 machine, the 147.08 for our voice transmission during the net. To find out more about Western Washington Amateur Television Society, you can Google WW7ATS, that's Google WW7ATS. That'll take you to our homepage. There you'll see the frequencies that we operate on. And also, there's a link there to stream our net to, and that link will get you to the streaming. However, the audio on the stream compares because of the location of the receiver for the audio on the 08 machine up on the mountain. So, anyway, sorry about that. I'll take a break in case anybody needs emergency traffic or needs to make a contact with somebody before our net gets fully underway. Do so now. Hearing on again, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society map on page 87ZYM. So far checked into the net is Ron, KD7QKU, Jessica, KF7UHK, Richard, K7ITX, James, WU7N, myself, Dave, KD7CYM, and John, KI7YRC. Anybody else wanting to join in? Hearing none, and those check-ins are all by video feed. So we'll start off the net with going up to Ron, KD7QKU in Tacoma.
Okay, well thank you very much, Dave. KD7ZYM in the group, KD7QKU here. Let's see. Well, this afternoon, I guess I'll start with this afternoon. Wade came over for a couple hours, and he was going to do something with my IP to make it permanent, I think. That's what he was going to do. Or he was going to put a name or something in the grand stream instead of the IP. I don't know. I don't remember exactly what he was going to do, but whatever he was going to do, he was unable to do it because apparently my computer has a password in it someplace that I didn't know, and he couldn't figure out. And so then we called Bob Helling, because Bob has helped me in the past. I bought this computer, from PC Recycle. And I remember when I got it, Bob came over and helped me with it a little bit. And he put when you open it up, he put a password. Oh, I don't really like that. So then, as soon as I discovered that, well then I called him and asked him if he could change it, and he did. He changed it, so I didn't have to put up with that. But the password must be inside someplace. So then Wade went home. He had a password eraser or something. He came back with a little thumb drive and plugged it in, but apparently it didn't like my computer, or my computer didn't like it because it was unsuccessful. So after he tried it quite a while, then he gave up, and we just visited for a while. He said that he wasn't through. He said he had some more ideas, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. But he was trying to make it so that my IP address wouldn't always change in the grand stream. Something would stay constant. So he thought that would be better. So anyway, I guess for this round, that's it. So, I think James got a haircut. That's what I think. He looks nice. Yeah, looks good. So anyway, back to that, KD7QKU.
KD7QKU. Let's go to Jessica, KF7UHK.
Up here in Everett, Jessica, KF7UHK. It looks like James got his hair colored too. I'm not really sure. It looks like it's more redder than normal. I don't remember what it looked like last time. Looks great, that's for sure. I need a haircut. So, let's see, what did we do today? We went and bought a car. So, we had a little Nissan Leaf, which is a great little car to use. But you're always having to go charge it up between times when you use it and you run the battery down. And it takes a while to charge that battery up. And I also think I just got a job, a retirement job, I call it. And so we kind of needed a second car just in case, we both have to go two different places every day. So I'll tell you more about that position I took on a little bit later. I've probably been talking about it, working off of the train system, but for people who go on trains. So it's a little transportation job. Had to go take some tests and get a physical, that kind of thing. Still waiting for some of the results of that, but I think I passed. So with that, 54 degrees. It was a pretty nice day today. It almost felt balmy out here in Everett. This is KF7, you guys get
Okay, thanks for that. Let's go to Richard, K7ITX.
Okay, well, hi everybody. I think I'm having technical difficulties on my end. I put my computer to sleep probably one too many times. I have a computer that I like to put to sleep rather than turn it off completely, because it does have a hard drive that tends to take 3-4 minutes to maybe 5 minutes for the computer to boot up completely. And so, but I've noticed that if you push to sleep one too many times, a few things go haywire. And so, sadly, the YouTube stream. Oh my God! Well, then everything I just said, I take it back, because I see the YouTube stream working. So it wasn't me, I guess. So all right, well, great. Let me gather my composure, and I'll be able to talk to next round. KD7ZYN, K7ITX, back to net control.
K7ITX, put down, way down to Bellevue, to James, WW7S.
Okay, let's see, I'm putting out about a third of my maximum power here, so I got 15 watts. How is the static and audio? Good night. I'm just getting a little bit of interference on my monitor, about 4 feet away from the antenna, so that's not bad. Password was wrong, yes. That never goes away. I have a system I use for passwords, and I get them messed up. My favorite company is Google, because they buy these other companies and then they merge, and then they don't tell you that your password for YouTube is now your Google. And not even they can keep it straight. So I've had problems with password merging as companies acquire other companies as well. That's good. I hope you're not going to leave us hanging. I'm in the room right now, but new car, exciting, new job, even more exciting. Want to hear all about it, especially with something cool like trains. There's probably only a couple of jobs more exciting than trains. That would be something to do with airplanes or maybe nuclear reactors. But the trains are pretty good, so I want to hear a little more about that. And I changed my lighting, so I'm not quite as white-flooded, but I didn't dye my hair, I just changed the lighting, which was probably a lot cheaper than coloring your hair. This is COVID haircut, I believe number 7. I kind of lost count, but this one actually went okay, and I got to tell everybody else to say, what does the back look like? Because, you're doing it strictly by braille when you live by yourself, so, I don't know, the sides I guess came out okay. From the top, it still has that bald spot, and I was still unsuccessful reversing the polarity on the clippers to try and put the hair back on the bald spot. That didn't work, but I'm going to try an AC signal to power the clippers next time. So that's it for me. This is James. James, WW7N in Northeast Bellevue, turning it back to Dave on net control for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society.
Thank you, James. And it's ID time again. This is Dave, WW7ATS, and this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society at WW7SCR repeater 147. And before the breeze and clear out, it's been a little this afternoon, but nothing really to measure. And when it comes to passwords, I can remember passwords. I can. I have a little notebook that every time I have a password or change something, I write it down in that book that goes in my safe in case I have to several times. I had to almost try to remember what the combination of my safe was to get this book. Another password problem. It's uncontrollable. So anyway, that's my way of keeping track of passwords. This afternoon I got together with my daughter for lunch, and that was kind of nice to go out to the restaurant and actually get something to eat. I'm amazed that a lot of people out there doing that. Wear your mask going in, have your meal, put your mask back on, chat for a little bit, leave with your mask on. So anyway, that was how I was doing it. So far, healthy, wealthy, well, not wealthy, but healthy at this point. This is 87YM. So let's see if we can pick up John. KI7YRC.
Oh, well, thank you for doing that, and thank you for inviting me back to the net as well. It's not much going on here, just enjoying the weekend. Picked up Motorola 900 megahertz radio, so I gotta find a antenna for that so I can check it out and see if I want to purchase it from the gentleman. But other than that, just gonna start redoing the shock here this next week and organize it better than I have got it, so that needs to definitely be done. But just got done cooking dinner right when the net was starting, so I'm gonna go to the next round and pop some more. So I'm gonna try to eat a little bit more in between rounds, but thanks again for the net, and thanks for inviting me as well, so I'll talk some more in the next round. KI7YRC.
Thank you, John. KI7YRC joining the net this evening. Well, let's go back up to the top to Ron. KD7QKU.
Okay, KD7QKU here. All right, well, I guess I missed out on Jessica telling me what kind of a car she bought. I don't know if I didn't hear it or she didn't tell it. Maybe she didn't tell it. And yeah, next thing we know, Jessica will be an engineer and running those trains up and down. I knew a guy once that was an engineer. His name was Carol Davis. And he ran between Kennewick and Spokane. And a couple of times he hit cars, believe it or not, while I knew him. I guess people out there in that rural area would try to beat the train. And they were apparently not successful a couple of times. But it didn't hurt the train, but it didn't do the people much good. But what else was going on? Well, we had a bunch of excitement over here. I guess it was Thursday. Let me drop that for a second here. So we have Aetna Insurance, and once a year they have a doctor-type person come over and kind of give you a little medical. They take your blood pressure and ask you a few questions and make sure you're still alive. I don't really think it's worthwhile because, we have doctors and go, and I've always kind of objected to it. But the guy came over on Thursday, and he checked my blood pressure. My blood pressure was fine, and then he checked Joanne's, and it was 210 over 100. 210 over 100. And so he stopped right there, and he said, I think you either need to go to the emergency room or you need to go to someplace. And so we did. We started towards the emergency room. It was kind of busy. Joanne didn't want to go there, so they have a, what do they call it, care place, urgent care, I guess. So we pulled in there and said, well, that was kind of a mistake in a way. If she'd went to emergency, they would have done something, and I'm sure when we came home, her blood pressure would have been lower, but
gave her a prescription, and we picked up some medication to add to her high blood pressure medication, and it was 2.5 milligrams or something, I don't forget. It wasn't enough to do anything anyway. So anyway, then yesterday we finally got a hold of her doctor, and then they decided to, I think they told her to add 4 of those pills. So I think she added, was that 10 or 20 milligrams of which she had been taking. The doctor, I'm a little bit disappointed in this new doctor over here. Changed Joanne's medication all around. Joanne's gotten worse instead of better, I think. So I don't know. Joanne has an appointment to go see her, so maybe she'll get it straightened out. So this morning when she got up, it was 133. So the 4 little pills made a difference, and so we're kind of relieved about that. But that was, I certainly didn't want her to have a stroke or something. If I hadn't got a hold of somebody on Friday, I would have taken her back to the emergency room, I think, to see if they would correct it somehow. All right, back to net, KD7 continue.
KD7 continue, let's go to Pacific KM7UHK and find out about their new car.
Well, so we were looking at Infinities, and that's what we got. It was made by Nissan. It's a little more of a luxury car. It's a nice car. It's a little 4-door. It's kind of silver grayish, kind of colorblind, so I'm not really sure. And I can't remember what year it was. It's a couple years old. But we went to an Infinity dealer down here in Glenwood. Picked it up today. Traded in our little Nissan Leaf. They gave us $13,300 for it, which was better than the Nissan place up here. They were only going to give us $10,000 for it. I think that's no good. So we traded it a little Leaf in for this Nissan. It's a very sporty car. It's got the sport mode, and it's got the Sport Plus mode, along with the standard Eco and Snow mode. It's got all those sensors on it, so I think it will hit the brakes if you get too close to somebody. It has the blind spot sensors on it. It's all tricked out. So that's what we got today, and that gives us two gas guzzling cars as opposed to our truck and the little Leaf, which is good for doing small jaunts here and there. But if you're going to use it every day, you're going to need to do a lot of charging of it. So that's what happened there, why we decided to change out of that, since I think I got this new job, which is from a company called Halcon. And Halcon delivers engineers, conductors, and brakemen to different places. If they run out of time on their shift, wherever they're at, we go pick them up and take them to a motel, or we take them to their car, or take them home or somewhere. And so it's kind of a glorified limousine service for train workers. So I'll tell you more about that next time around. KM7, USK.
Lee has joined us. Let's go to Port Angeles, M7AC.
Okay, good, I'm in. Well, good evening, everybody, and hi, John. Good to see you again. Well, I guess, Jessica, I was expecting maybe a locomotive engineer, I don't know, something like that. I figured you were going to be running one of those light rails or something like that. Hey, it turns out I've got a nephew that's an engineer on a locomotive for one of the big ones. I haven't seen him since he was 10, probably, but he's been doing it for years, and I don't know who he's working for now, but I think he's, transcontinental or something like that. And apparently it's a really good job, the way I understood it to be. I think it probably would be. We were supposed to get rain here today. Nothing has materialized yet. But we're getting on the dry side here, I think. It's a little worrisome because of the cheaters and everything. They got really stressed last year. And they're putting out the doggone stuff now. We've been here going on 8 years, and we've never seen our feeders do such a thing before. and it's just raining this almost a pepper-looking stuff out of the heaters. And it gets in the rain gauges, it's just getting in everything. It's awful. And I'm assuming it's some kind of a WC or something like that, but I just don't know. And I haven't taken the time to do any research on it, but we've never seen anything like that before. So I don't know whether it was due to the stress they had last year. Everybody's was the same. They all look pretty much the same, like they just didn't have enough water. So I'm going to start early this year and try to keep the rich water down, because we only got 9 inches of rain so far here this year. That's pretty light. Gosh, I don't have anything else. Come think of it, I'm about out of time. So, 7KC in Port Angeles. Thank you, Dave.
Connected at 7KC.
Amateur Television Society net for ID. I'm Dave, 87CYS. Is there anybody else who would like to check into the net this evening? Hearing that, let's go to Richard of Kent. 37ITX.
Yeah, good to see you, John. Nice to see you tonight, KSMYRC. And Jessica, congratulations on the new car, and sounds like a strong possibility of a new job. So happy about that. Yeah, you'll find being retired and a job, it's not the same as when you had a job before. It's just a totally different world. And you know, WW7ATS, she hasn't worked since she retired until just the last week or two, part-time bookkeeping job where I part-time at, and I just, I didn't want her to do something she didn't like, and I just said, do you like doing this? And she says, oh yeah. And, well, and same with me. The interesting thing about it is we're pretty sure the company is going to quit doing business sometime this year. So it's not like these are long-term adventures. And oh my God, Ron, Joanne, that scares the heck out of me. Wow. I don't know what to say. I've been battling. Well, I haven't had high blood pressure since I've been on medication for, I've kind of lost track of time, for 10, 15 years, and just hasn't really been an issue anymore. I suspect if I didn't take any medicine, it'd be pretty high, but yeah, that 210, that's a very scary number. So anyway, I'm glad you guys figure out how to get that under control, and I hope her new doctor understands how to keep that from happening anymore. So anyway, yeah, it's weird that your blood pressure can be high and you don't feel any different. At least I never do. Or when it seems to be elevated, it might be elevated now. I can tell when it's super, super low. It's way too low. It's way too low. You get dizzy. And yeah, Lee, that's kind of scary about the rain situation. I thought we're supposed to have some around here. Well, I don't know. Come to think of it, I'm going to have to check the weather forecast. But yeah, you're right. It has been kind of light. I think we could use some more up in the mountains. It seems like we always can. Because, it won't be a very fun summer, especially if we get the heat like we did last year. Holy moly, getting into those 30 three figures, no thanks. I can't remember how hot it got, but I think it was pushing 110, and we're just not made for that in this part of the country. So anyway, one last point to make. And I want to thank Dave Mann, KD7ZYN, for his tip on getting a car battery at Costco. Dave, your tip, I'm pretty sure saved me probably, at least $70, if not $100. You can't buy a good quality, heavy-duty car battery anywhere I know of for $99. That's, 3-year battery, and a good name, too. Everything that I got quotes on was, $180, $200. So, there you go, by the time you pay tax. So, I don't know, I was amazed, and I was pretty happy. So, thanks again, Dave. And for now, I don't think I'm taking the truck in. The truck's working, I think I just had a bad battery all along. K7ATS, back to net control.
K7ATS, Richard, thanks for that. Let's go to Bellevue to James, WW7N.
James put out a message that he had a phone call, so I don't see him. Maybe he's gone for a while.
Okay, well, we'll pass in, and also I got text from Wade, W7ITL, and Jim, M7QO, that they wouldn't be on the net this evening, so I got information on YM in Lake City. And back to Richard, once you get a battery from Costco, if you take the core battery back, they'll give you $20 cash back, so that even takes more money off the plate for the cost of the battery. So it's a pretty good refund you get for bringing the old battery back after you install the new one. And that's about all I can say with that. And again, good wishes to Ron Bright for many years, keeping her blood pressure down, especially around Ron. I can see how that could elevate up. But anyway, found a way to control that. And so let's go to John, KI7YRC.
Oh, well, the comment about the whole blood pressure thing. I've seen my share of 210 over like 115, 120. So it's been to the point where go to the hospital because I get migraines, and they're like, we don't know how you're not having a heart attack or stroke out yet. And that's usually when I was off my medication for a while. But usually my cause of getting it was from, I knew it by really bad migraines, where it gets to the point where it was a sensitive to light, really tired all the time. And that was the biggest thing when I brought my meds. They would used to mess with me really bad. And now I'm back on meds for solid for 3.5, 4 years now. Haven't had an issue with it. Blood pressure's been about 120 over 70 average, so that's a good thing there. But what else is there? Oh yeah, Costco's always got good deals, especially if you go get tires. But when I look for tires, I compare different places, and batteries are pretty good there. Next best place besides Costco for batteries is Battery Plus store. So I'm gonna wait for the next round and jump out of here for right now. So KI7YRC.
KI7YRC, thanks for that. And again, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net. I'm KD7YN for an ID. Anybody else that would like to join the net this evening? It sounds like somebody's trying to call in, but the signal's not coming in. I hear the wrong call. But anyway, let's go back up to the top of the list to Ron, 87 2KU.
Okay, thanks Dave, KD7QKU here. Well, I made a note and then I didn't follow up on it. So I was going to ask John about, he mentioned the 900 megahertz radio, and I was going to ask him if there's repeaters in the area, so maybe next time he can tell me about repeaters. I know, what is it, 220, there's 220 repeaters around, but I don't know about 900. So, and I'm not sure what that is, I guess. And then Jessica's car sounds really nice. We have a 2019 and it has all those warning things on it. And it never has braked for me yet when I almost hit somebody, but it did yell, warning, warning, brake, brake. And I think it started to slow down, but I was on the brake by that time, so I don't know if it was the car or me. But yeah, a big red sign flashed up and yelled, brake, brake. So anyway, and you go to change lanes. It has a feature that I think I would really like, but I never get an opportunity to use it. So when you put it in cruise, you can set the number of car lengths that you want to follow the car ahead of you, and it'll automatically slow you down or speed you up. And that is really nice because many times, the car in front of you will slow down and stuff. But I never get to use it because we never go anyplace, other than to the grocery store with them. So anyway, what else? Let's see. Darn, I forgot now. I had a couple other things. Oh, Lee. Yeah, so you were talking about how dry it's been up there. So down here in Tacoma, actually 2 days, I got 5 inches of rain down here in 2 days once. It was more rain than I think I'd ever seen anyplace. It just poured down here one time. And it's been since the first of the year. I suppose it was in February. Maybe it was in January. I don't know. But it was, it was a while back. But we had that Pineapple Express come through, and it just really dumped on us down here. So anyway, so I put in those new arborvitae, I guess you call them, trees, and they put a sprinkler system on them. But yeah, and I have it hooked up to a battery-operated thing that'll turn it off and on, so I can water once in the morning and once in the evening. But I haven't turned it on yet because we've had enough rain, that the soil's been real wet, so I don't think I need to turn the water on. If it gets dry this summer, I'll sure need it. So anyway, I guess back to that, Katie. Oh, and I was talking about Joanne. So here I've been complaining about the insurance company sending this guy out, or doctor person out, or nurse, whatever he was, that it was. So anyway, I was complaining about the insurance company sending this doctor out. That that's something we don't need. Well, we sure did. I mean, Joanne doesn't think her blood pressure had been that high very long because she takes it occasionally. But maybe it's been that high for 3 or 4 days, or maybe even a week. I'm not sure, but yeah, scary stuff. So hopefully we'll get. Well, see, remember she fainted, and her blood pressure was low. I guess they determined, and so they cut her all down on her blood pressure medicine. Maybe they cut her down too much. So hopefully they'll get it straightened out. So back to that, KD7QKU.
87 2KU, let's do this Jessica,
My father, my mother and father both passed away, but my father was very good, like making small talk with people, and just kind of making it so that 6 kids could go see things that maybe we normally wouldn't have seen. But he was once on a walk with my mom up on Rush Island where they lived after we moved up there. And he was on a walk, and he thought his blood pressure was high, so he thought, I'll just drop into the fire station that was on the route. So he walked in and said, very small talk, something like, hey, I just thought I'd stop by and look at your nice red fire engines, and do you think you could check my blood pressure? I think it's a little high. They called 911. They did not. They were just like, no, we need to call 911. Do you think, we're just gonna just bang? And they called 911, whisked him off, and he probably was better for that. And so I find that very interesting. Let's see, my car. I don't know if it has the car following. That's really cool, Ron. But I know it has some kind of lane keeping feature, and it has blind spot detection. So it has a lot of technology on it that I haven't discovered all of it yet, and I certainly can't do it when I'm driving either. One of the things I learned in some of the classes I've been taking for this job is all the extra things that keep you attentive to your driving, such as playing with the radio or playing with your coffee cup, or talking to passengers. So learning about that. Let's see, blood pressure. When I don't take my blood pressure medicine, I have wilder dreams than I normally have, and I have some pretty wild dreams that are very vivid, usually 3 a night, and I can separate all 3 of them and tell you about all of them. They're not always so long, but I remember all pieces of them. But when I'm not taking my blood pressure, they're even more vivid. And with color, I see color. I know I see color in dreams, so that's always interesting. And then John up there mentioned budget battery. I've bought some budget batteries for clunker cars that I bought for cheap, and I'm kind of sad to see them not around anymore, because that was a good, awful place to go buy a battery from. So with that, it's a KF7UHK.
KF7UHK. Let's go to Port Angeles. Lee in 7KC.
Okay, we're in Port Angeles again. Well, I'll be honest, it's extremely noisy here tonight. I couldn't tell what they were saying at all, never heard anything. It's just that awful crackling noise. And Jessica had it, and Ron had it, and it was just kind of general here. James has it. Now, Jessica be talking along, and it was very noisy, and then all of a sudden, the noise would clear, go away, and it was just perfectly normal level of speech and all that sort of stuff. So, I don't know where it's sneaking in, but boy, it's awful. I can't follow much of this at all. So, anyway, I know she got a new car, and it sounds pretty cool, and Joanne is pulling out of some little episode that she experienced. That's good. And that's as much as I know tonight, to be honest. I don't know, I thought Richard was going to be someplace at a race course this week. Oh, that's this coming weekend. Not this. Oh, this is the weekend. Oh, another one. Okay, well, I don't have anything else, so back to you, Dave. It's 7KC, Port Angeles.
Speaking of Richard, let's go to K7ITX.
I try to, once the show gets going here and I'm all hooked up, with my HDMI hooked up, I have no control over turning my volume on, and so I'm, oh, wait a minute, I could, Lee, I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'll unmute myself. Yeah, that's all I need to do. I don't know what the heck I was thinking. I'll just make sure I unmute myself, and hopefully you'll be able to hear what's going on that you can't hear because of all the crackling. And yeah, we're getting crackling at this end with certain transmissions, but at least maybe you'll be able to follow on. And I even have a HT that might assist us so you can hear the rest of the net before it's over. So let's see, there's one other thing. The race, yes, oh God, yes, Sonoma, California, that is precisely next weekend, so that's where the business meeting will be a bit of a challenge. I'm not sure if I'll be able to fire up Zoom for the 10 o'clock meeting or not, but I'm going to make an effort to do so. And so, Lee, that's where maybe you might want to have your version of Zoom ready to go in case I can't fire it up. So yeah, no, that is coming up. I'm really excited. Anything to, just do something different. And it's so beautiful down there in Napa and the wine field, wine country, and that racetrack is just first class. And we got a new motor, new clutch. So the Datsun 510 is raring to go. So and I think I have a uniform now. I think I'm really officially part of the team with some kind of special clothes. So we'll see how that works out. With that, KD7ZYM, K7ITX, back to net control.
K7ITX, which is, yes, it is good to have clothes, especially when you're on the racetrack. So, wish you well for that. And we see James's bag, WW7ATS.
Thank you all for your understanding. That was not a phone call I could pass on. I've got a relative who went in for surgery last Monday. He's supposed to be out in, I think, 2 or 3 days. And the good news is he's getting released tomorrow. But it's been kind of an up and down experience over the last week, and that's very good news. I'll share with you all as he seems to be on the mend, at least well enough that they're aiming for discharge date tomorrow of 9 a.m. I was going to say, Ron, I'm so glad to hear that Joanne is feeling better, and I hope she continues that as well. And a Nissan Infiniti 4-door. Now, one question I had for you, Jessica, you say you're a railroad service for railroad folks. Is it you use your own car, or do you drive to work? Oh, and then you jump into one of their cars. Okay, well, I hope that the car is like one of those things at the amusement park that has the cutout. It's really like a little golf cart, but they make a little cutout, like a plywood cutout of a choo-choo train on each side of the golf cart, and then they have little, things behind you where people jump on in the parking lot, and then you drive like a 3-layer thing. I don't think they'll have it at Disneyland or not. Anyway, I want a picture of the car that you're driving, just so I can vicariously enjoy the railroad industry. This is James, the WW7N in Northeast Bellevue. Again, thank you for everyone's patience. I've missed everything you said since I left, and back again. So it's probably no different than another 5 years where my memory will be. So let me turn back to Dave, our net controller for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society.
Thanks for that, James. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, and I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. Well, let's see, other good news for me today. I got rid of 3 Apple boxes worth of stuff out of my basement, so I can almost turn around in the basement now, but I can't see from one end of the room to the other. Still a lot of stuff in the way. Being a ham, I think, is a predisposition to be a collector of things. I think that goes with the title of being a ham radio operator, as you acquire things. So anyway, I did get rid of 3 things, and maybe I can get a deal on my income taxes next year and declare some stuff getting out. But unfortunately, I haven't been able to do that in the past. So this is Dave, KD7ZYM in Lake City. So let's go to John, KI7YRC, and find out more about his new radio. I'm not sure. Let me turn the volume down on that real quick. I just want to turn the volume down on the tablet so I'm not getting an echo through
to the repeater. I'm not sure too much about it yet. I know it's a 900 megahertz radio. It does trunking. So I got to figure out, and I don't believe there's a whole lot of 900 megahertz in the area. I know one or two has the 900 megahertz capabilities. I'm going to get some more information from them and see if there's anything more about it. So I got to research this one, see what I can do with it. And the trunking system is fairly new to me, but there's a lot of research on it already online that I've Googled. These are some of the different models. One is the 900 megahertz, which is this one. It has 800 megahertz as well. And it's the 900 megahertz, but that's 12 watts. Let's get to Ron, 87 QKU.
So I don't know what happened to John, but his transmission was just terrible, and then Dave, you started out terrible, and then the very last words you said, let's go for Ron, that came out nice and clear, so I don't know what's going on. Worse than normal. Jessica's showing us pictures of the, I guess it's his little, I wanted to say van. Is it a van? I guess it's a van that she's going to drive. So that'll be nice. And John, I'm sorry, but I guess I missed everything about the 900. That's too bad. That looks like a nice radio. So what else? Oh, Lee, you talked about a big boat that came in. I think it was a yacht or something last time, and maybe you were going to give us a little more information on it. I forget about it now. I don't think it was a sailboat. I think it was a motorboat. But I forgot. I don't know if you were going to take pictures. Maybe you didn't get a picture of it. But if you did, it'd be nice to see it. Somebody else looked it up. I think you gave us the name. And somebody looked it up. All right. Maybe we had all the information we needed on that. So let's see. One of the other things I did is finally we had kind of a dry day over here, so I put some Roundup on the weeds or flowers or whatever they are. They're coming up through our bark, so we put bark around the edge of the yard next to the chain link fence. And so I did get around the spraying that stuff finally. So I hope it kills it. I hate to use Roundup, but I also hate to tear the stuff out too. I just soon kill it. So that's one of the things I did. And I've been putting moss killer and fertilizer on the front lawn, but it just hasn't really helped it. It's the shade of that tree that was here. We had a big, maple tree, and then the grass was just so sparse that I don't think it's going to do much until we really get some sunshine and warm weather. So I'm hoping that it'll clear up. So anyway, all right. So I guess that's all for now. So back to that, 87 QKU.
87 QKU. Getting even some static on you too, Ron. So I don't know what might be the repeater is. That's tonight. That's a good
Hey, Jessica, I'm here. 51 degrees and 49 miles an hour. Pictures of a Halcon band back there. Usually you're only picking up 3 people. Once again, the conductor, engineer, and the brakeman. And I think I figured out the brakeman doesn't just work on brakes. They actually, I think, the people that break apart the cars from one car to another. So the engineer might be up top, running the thing, and the brakeman is going back there and going and taking these things apart. I haven't confirmed that with them. As soon as they start doing the job and I can pick these people up, then we'll find out. But a lot of times you'll find these little pull-outs where cars can go up, and other cars just like for maintenance of the tracks or something. So a lot of these things are for picking up employees from the train while they're changing over crews. So it goes as far as like Olympia, and it goes up into Canada. Since I have a passport, and there's some of the people in this company don't have their vaccinations completed, I'm eligible to go take driving jobs up to Canada and back. So that's kind of cool. It's an on-call job, so they may call me in the middle of the night and say, you have a pickup to make at this location, or I have to go grab a van, and they give me time to go do that and move people along. And that's okay, because somebody works second shift, sometimes what feels like third shift, because he works into the night doing other things. So it's okay with me. I'm retired. I have time on my hands and energy to do it. It just sounds like a lot of fun. Where I pick up the trade, it was like sitting right across from where locomotives sit and rumble. So the other day when I went down there a little bit earlier, I sat there right in front of this three engine monstrosity sitting there and rumbling along. I think that's kind of fun, just to look at this thing and get a closer look. Some people don't get that close to these things other than when they're whizzing by. And it was really fun to look at some of the videos about people who don't get off the tracks in time. And they showed a whole lot of things about that. And one of these vans got hit a few years ago down, I want to say Centralia or Chehalis, and wiped out the whole crew and the driver and everything, and it was really sad. So they're really strong on safety, checklists, things like that. They have things tattletale so you don't drive too fast, and cameras on board. So it still sounds like a fun job. So with that, KS7 Yashkik.
KS7 UHK. Well, let's go to Port Angeles to Lee, M7KC, and see how this works out.
Okay, is my mic still working? Okay. Alright, very good. Wow, boy, got some big time noise on some things tonight. I really do. Jeepers, I didn't jot down what I had going here. It seemed like I had something important I was going to ask. Next time. Thank you, David. M7KC.
Well, let's go to Richard in Kent. K7ITX.
Confusing for me, with switching. Oh wait, I want to switch myself in, and see, I even forgot to switch. I was so excited that doing something so we could hear, or at least try to get it for Lee, and then I just, it's James. I didn't get him on the big YouTube screen. That made me mad at myself. So, but yeah. The feedback was going to come in. And you know what that noise reminds me of? Reminds me of what you would hear with the Northern Lights, with some kind of solar storm, sunspot, some kind of what are they called? Corona CMT or I don't know, but anyway, you guys know what I'm talking about. That's what it sounds like to me. It wasn't the normal antenna static, the broken element or whatever it is that we get on the weaker signals. This was something that is affecting everybody. So hopefully that's all it is, and it isn't going to be a chronic problem for us. So anyway, geez, we're getting right down there. I'm going to just say 73, and Thanks for everybody showing up. It was pretty wild, but we sure heard a lot of interesting topics tonight. KD7ZYM, K7ITX, back to net control.
K7ITX. Let's go to James, WW7ATS in Bellevue.
Okay, thanks very much, California. Feedback there. So how is my audio? I got the same static crackle pop as everybody else. Okay, is it any better or any worse now? It's a little better now? Okay, well, yeah, this is when in doubt, just burn onto it. I can feel some of my, let's say, hardy genes mutating as I stand here about, 3 meters away from the antenna, but we're going to make it. I'm not sure why I should have to pump this kind of power into repeatedly. It's 11 clicks away. Anyway, I'm going to do this regularly, though. I'm going to go ahead and stack my food around the antenna. Might as well, get double use out of it. I see we got 4 minutes left, so let me just say thank you very much. Jessica, thank you for the cool pictures and the non-ionizing radiation commentary there on the tube. We certainly appreciate you all showing up tonight. So with that, let me turn it back to net control with 4 minutes left. Go ahead, Dave, take it away.
Thanks for that, James. This is Dave, KD7ZYM in Lake City. And we're probably good for another ID. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. And for Jessica, boy, it's kind of nice that they provide you with a vehicle to move all the train people. That really makes a big difference in your insurance. If you had to use your own car to transport those people around, you'd be considered an Uber driver and have to have all kinds of insurance to do that. So the only insurance you have to have is on your own personal car to get to and from the location to pick up their vehicle. So that sounds like a pretty good deal. And I guess that's about all I've got to say for that. Let's see if John is still with us, KI7YRC.
I don't know how good the signal is because I just looked up the solar flux index and it's at 119 and sunspots is at 48, so the numbers are going up. And I know I was reading a report, I think it was this morning or yesterday, there was a pretty big CME that was turning towards Earth and it's going to be projecting somewhere on the Earth. I didn't read the whole report, so I don't know where it's going to be direction to. It's supposed to be here, I want to say they said by the 28th, I think it was. It's going to hit Earth, so it could be the start of the effect of that CME that's going to get put out. So, but the good part about it, that means 10 meters will be open up more, and hopefully the magic band of 6 meters we can get some of the working on there. I'll probably work some more stuff on 6 meters, especially some voice on it. But other than that, I know it's almost done with the net, so this is KI7YRC.
KI7YRC, yeah, let's put that to net by going to Ron, KD7QKU on a final.
Okay, KD7QKU here. So, Richard, you come in loud and clear. Your signal is always good. I have to turn the volume down here so loud. Everybody else, well, John was pretty good this time, and James wasn't too bad. But, Dave, and not good. Jessica was not too good. It's sort of amazing what's going on. But anyway, we got through it. So, all right. See you over on Zoom, I guess. KD7QKU on clear. All right.
KD7QKU, and all good nets have to come to an end at the end of the hour. And this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. We'd like to thank the owners and operators of the Seattle Repeater Association for allowing us to use WW7STR, the 147.08 repeater, for our voice transmissions for our nets held on Wednesdays and Saturdays between 8 and 9 o'clock. So on behalf of the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, signing off the net, this is Dave, KD7ZYM, 9 o'clock. Good evening all.